Outer Orange. Welcome back to another This Is a Video. As you see around me, this is what's coming soon into your eyeballs. That's right, your eyeballs. Those eyeballs right there that you're looking at to watch this video here. Today we're going to be discussing about VTubing and the kind of the works of VTubing, using that to just introduce to ourselves what the VTubing industry looks like, what the virtual life is for someone that is not just a YouTuber like myself, but someone who uses a character to present themselves in a VTubing manner. So I'd like to introduce you to This Is Visionary Mimine. And 3, 2, 1. Hi! Welcome, gamers, card gamers. This is Visionary Mimine here with us today. Nice, awesome VTuber, very fun person. Mimine, tell us about tell the world, tell the wonderful people about yourself.
So I'm Mimine, as was just introduced, aka Mimi. Most people just call me Mimi at this point. I'm a VTuber, which means I'm anime, and you can imagine all sorts of things about me, and it's not weird because I don't actually exist.
Wait a second.
I'm sorry, we were just talking about that, and you had me think about it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just like I'm just kind of like internet personality person. I stream, I play card games, I stream card games, I do commentary for card games. I do all sorts of things. I'm just kind of person, but also anime, and that's that's basically the extent of what I do. Is just be person and anime at the same time.
That was a very interesting introduction. I'm still laughing over what you said earlier. Like, you just said a bunch of stuff, and I'm still on. You can imagine things about me, but I don't exist. I'm still on that sentence.
No, you can imagine. You can, because like. No, because whenever I think about, like, imagine things, like fan fiction, right? If you write fan fiction about a real person, that's kind of weird. But if you write fan fiction about an anime person, that's totally cool, you know?
What? Who? I didn't know you can write...
I think about, okay?
I didn't know you could write fan fiction about a real person, but, you know, is that a thing? Do people write fan fiction about real people?
Oh my god, yes.
Wait, is it a thing for celebrities? Is that a thing?
Sometimes, yes. Yes, there'll be, like, celebrity fan fiction. Or like, yeah, it's very creepy and very strange, and I'm not a fan.
I can't see myself just sitting here and writing a whole fan fiction about Hilary Duff. It just isn't my jam, but I don't know. Like a storybook character, yeah, that makes sense. It's like, oh, I didn't want this ending, I wanted that ending, so let me just change it, you know?
Yeah, just like write a story that would never be like addressed normally, and like the actual show or whatever.
I'm still that's so I've never thought about writing fan fiction about a real person, and I'm a writer, by the way. I don't know, I don't usually talk about this, but my original occupation was literally writing. So
yo, that's
sorry.
what I originally... No, you're fine. That's what I originally went to college for, actually, is I wanted to be a writer somewhere in life.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's so much fun. I love writing.
Writing is such a nice and simple yet complicated process, but it feels so nice when you do it. When you write like 10 pages, you're like, yeah, I wrote those 10 pages.
Simple yet complicated describes so many different things in parts of my life. Simple and clean, nah, we simple and complicated.
Simple and clean is the way that you're... Anyway. We haven't even started on... I haven't even asked the question and we're already here. I actually had a question in between all of what was happening, and I actually don't remember what I was gonna ask. It was... Oh, I do remember. It was... It doesn't really have anything to do with... specifically what we were talking, but I noticed that today you are wearing a different outfit. You normally wear your like brain farting, but you normally wear like the Vision outfit, like pretty much your original like type of style, and today you are not wearing that.
I mean, it's essentially just a school uniform, more or less. This is basically meant to be like Hokago card time outfit, because you know we're in school, we're an after school club, and so like I just got out of school, etc., etc. I don't know what compelled me to wear this today. I was literally, I think my logic behind it was last night I streamed Final Fantasy 14 and I wore my like visionary outfit, and I was like, I did that last night, let me change it up. I don't really have logic to it. I'm just like, I want to wear this today, and so I do.
It's almost as if like in person you wouldn't do the same thing.
Yeah, crazy. It's almost like that's how clothes work.
It's crazy. Oh, I didn't wear the same clothes today? Weird. Crazy.
What? I don't wear the same clothes every single day all the time. What is lone dry? I've never heard of such a thing. Crazy.
I don't know about lone dry. I only know dry loan.
Dry loan.
This has already been really enjoyable. I don't know how we've gotten here, but it's been fun. So okay.
I told you, don't just put me in front of a mic and tell me to go, because we'll go places.
This is why you commentate, right? Because you could just go and go and go. Speaking of,
no, that was actually one of the first comments I ever got on my commentating when I was like, kind of auditioning for Cardfight Vision. I commentated over a YouTube video. Card Dweeb, who was like taking it and being like deciding if I could get to join Vision or not, was like, okay, I think the biggest problem is you filled space too much and you just didn't leave any room for someone else, for like a co-commentator, because you did not stop talking.
That is such
it's true. I don't shut up.
That is such a Card Dweeb thing to say too. Like that sounds exactly like him. It's not even funny because like that's just how he talks. For those of the viewers that may not know, Vision is actually a group of people that pretty much did like tournaments and online events and all this stuff for the Cardfight Vanguard community. So just to kind of give a little bit of explanation for that. I actually have a question for you in terms of that. You were saying you were auditioning for Vision. Out of curiosity, if you could talk about it, I'm not really sure. What so you have to audition to be a part of Vision, or how did that work?
So the process has changed a lot since I did it. When I did it, there was just a shortage of Vision members at the time. And so they just sent out a recruitment notice on Discord, and they were like, hey, if y'all want to like be a part of Vision, like organize tournaments or like commentate tournaments or whatever, then like sign this Google document, try out for it, and like show up, and we'll do like a interview type thing. Crazy. It's almost like I get in interviews a lot. Yeah, so I did that because I was just like, I don't know, I just didn't have a ton going on. I was just like, oh, I love Vanguard, and I've always wanted to try like some kind of content creation. So I'll try this and I'll see how it goes. And I ended up just absolutely adoring it. They let me in, and we did all sorts of like training for commentating. We did Card Dweeb ran boot camps all the time.
I got boot camped.
I'm sure. And that was kind of just how Vision ran at the time, which was just like, you show up, you do what you're asked, and then like if you're good enough, then you keep doing it. Since then, there's been more like in-depth interviews where it's like, all right, let's actually think about this person's like background and like this person's ability, and let's decide if, okay, would they actually be a good fit for the team, rather than just, are they a good commentator, yes or no? If yes, they're in. If no, they're out.
That's pretty interesting, actually. So I didn't know about that because I didn't really know much about Vision aside from their arena or area stuff that they were doing, which I just saw pop up on Twitter. But prior to Twitter, I didn't even know like that there was like a whole like establishment. And then you know, I met Card Dweeb through the con. And then, you know, he asked me to commentate like later on down the line. So that's how I just kind of discovered more about Vision. But I do have kind of a little bit of a different topic question, kind of about the VTubing life. Just because personally, I think it's just a cool topic to talk about. It's actually something I've never discussed with you. And I'm literally one of the people that I talk to you. Like, I don't talk to you like all the time, but I talk to you now and then. And I've never actually asked these questions. So now I'm like even more curious to ask them.
You're welcome to ask me whatever you want anytime.
Is it like really hard to do VTubing, or is there like pretty much like, is there like a lot to start? Like, is there like equipment, and like, is there like a whole learning curve? Like, kind of like, what is is there a hard process, and is it fun? Like,
so I mean, let me answer, is it fun? Like, yes, just straight up. Like, I can't give any other answer besides like, I love VTubing, and like, knowing what I know about it, I would not want to be doing any other form of content creation. Like, I'm so much happier with like doing this as I am, because I've tried normal streaming in the past, like without a VTuber model or whatever, and even like a camera pointed at myself. And it's just, this is so much better for me. I enjoy this so much more. And it just fits me and what I do. Difficulty, it really depends, because there's so many different ways of doing it. There's 2D models versus 3D models, and which one you use determines like what kind of programs you have to use, what kind of money you have to invest into it, what kind of time you have to learn to put into using those programs, and 100 different things. And even then, it's like which specific program to use, because like I use VC Face. This is not the only program out there for 3D models. There's 100 different programs that you can choose between. figuring out which one works for you and making it work is a very long process for some. You can also just say like, oh, this is the first program I see, I'm going to use this and just stick with it forever, and that's totally fine. Really starting out to get the equipment, you want a decent camera ideally, and you want a good model, but these things cost money, and you can have like a not very good model, or you can have just like a PNG bouncing up and down, and that's totally fine and valid, and people do that all the time. Reactive images. You can just plug in a picture of whatever you want, of like a VTuber avatar you drew yourself, for example. You can hook it up to Discord or hook it up to your mic. It'll just like bounce as you talk on stream, and that's still VTubing, called PNG tubing. You don't even have to have a good mic. All you have to do is you have to have a computer that can run OBS and can run Discord, and that's it. And then if you want to play games alongside it, or you want to stream something else, then you need a computer that can run those as well. Bumping up the quality is a whole thing. Like any streamer, like you want a good mic, so that costs money. So that's another expense if you want it to be good. You want a good webcam. Learning the programs it's a whole thing. It's a learning process, but it's something that you can do, and if you just want the bare minimum, it'll take you like an afternoon to figure it out. I really like delving in deep into it and really like trying to learn new things, and like how I can move myself around better, how I can make different expressions, how I can do all sorts of things, and where I can get the best model. I'm very blessed personally because I have an amazing art dad who just, when I worked with Vision, made me this model. Usually a model of this caliber would probably run like $150 to $200, but that's also because I'm kind of using one of the cheaper models technically, because I'm using a Droid Studio model, which is one of the easiest programs to use to make a model, which also means that getting a model from someone who's like good at using it is pretty cheap. If you're going for like 2D model, for example, 2D models are always the most expensive. You have to have it drawn in a specific way, so you have to have each layer separated, and then you have to have each of those layers individually rigged on Live 2D or another program like that, and Live 2D costs money.
That was
like there's a lot.
I had no idea. That was actually a lot of information to take out. Because I'm like 300% times 2 clueless when it comes to this kind of stuff. I just know how to put a picture into my video and call it a day. Like that, you know. Like there's like a whole process.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole process, but again, if you just want to scratch the surface, there's nothing wrong with that. Like I could literally, if you had like $50 in an afternoon, I could set you up with a VTuber model that works. It wouldn't look very good, and there wouldn't be many things you could do with it, but it would work, and you could like use it to stream with.
I'm good. My first OuterOrange model. Let's go. People thought I was a VTuber when I first started, so it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you're very VTuber adjacent, just in terms of like your personality and how you interact with your community. It's very VTuber-esque, because there's a lot of like, there's just things the VTuber community does, and there's the ways a lot of VTubers act, and it's just, you act very similar to that.
Yes! VTuber +1! Let's go! I get the +1 point. The VTuber said I act like a VTuber. OuterOrange acts like a VTuber.
OuterOrange acts like a VTuber.
That'd be pretty funny.
Which, to be fair, anyone can be a VTuber. Like, you don't have to act like the stereotypical VTuber to be a VTuber. You can just be yourself. You're just an internet personality with an anime model. That's it. Like, anything you go beyond that is up to you.
And that's what's important. I mean, just being yourself in general. A lot of people think like, I mean, there's some parts like, you know, on camera, off camera, you do act like a little different. There's like nothing that you can really do about that. It's just kind of how it is. But you can still like be like you. Like you could just exist as yourself, and then, you know, and still, that's why you're capable. Like I feel like I agree with you. I feel like anyone can do anything, honestly, especially when it comes to content creating. You don't necessarily like, yeah, like I always tell people this. Use what you're best at as a way to do what you're trying to do. Like if you're the best at like, you know, being a big voice and just being loud and, you know, just being very expressive, then use that as your thing, you know. But if you're more quiet, then you can use that as well. You can make like jokes off of that, or use your quietness against something else, like maybe play a lot of music, or, you know, whatever else you do. So I feel like whatever your weaknesses are, it can turn into strengths, and whatever your strengths you can use to back up your weaknesses.
That's very much like a big point that I absolutely agree with. You're 100% correct. Look, okay, if you want to make content, then just do it. Like anyone can make, there's a type of content for everybody that you can make, and you can make it very well, and you can make some kind of content that some people will find entertaining. No one else out here trying to be OuterOrange. Like there's only one person who can be.
Just like there's only one person who can be Mimine.
Yeah. And there's only one person out there who can be Drakengard lover number 72036. So shout outs to you in the comments.
Shout out to you, Dragon Lovers 736. You're really killing it out there.
If you get a comment from someone by that exact name, I'm gonna like...
I'm gonna sell my channel. GG guys, it's over. We've ascended past anything above.
Oh my goodness.
Someone just changes their name to Dragon Lover 736. I'm here.
I'm gonna do it now.
Oh my god. I would be blessed by that. That'd be really funny. Do people in the real world know that you're a VTuber or that you do VTubing?
Some people do. Not something I just go around telling everybody, obviously. Like, people at my work don't know I do this at all. A lot of my IRL friends don't know that I do this. A lot of my family doesn't know. But some of them do. Like, my mom knows I do this. She's been on stream a couple times and come in to say hi. Yeah, my brother also knows I do this. Like, some of my very close friends, like, collab with some of my very close friends as well. Like, Issa, for example, who's another VTuber, is like, we went to college together. Like, we've been friends for a very long time. Melly and Toyo, of course. Hokago Card Time. Like, I'm gonna be... Melly is basically my roommate at this point. So, like, yeah, there are people in real life who know about my, like, dick. Then there's just people who don't. And I think it's just the same as, like, there's people who know that you're, like, a streamer content creator, and there's people who don't. Like, I think that applies to, like, anybody. Out
of curiosity, I don't know if you've experienced this, but have people treated you differently knowing that you're like a VTuber? Have you ever like had any weird occurrences like that?
I've gotten a few things that are a couple strange. I have a weird thing that, like, I've gotten comments from people and, like, messages from, like, random people, like, talking about me as a content creator, and they're just, like, people I don't know, and, like, either talking about how, like, they looked up to me, or talking about, like, trying to get closer to me because I make content, and it's like, these people would never send these messages if I wasn't this exact personality and like in this exact position. Some of them are good, and some of them have been like, hey, I saw your streams, you seem really cool, yada yada yada, and then, like, I don't know, we got like a conversational flow going. But then there's like just other people who like try to approach me just because I'm a VTuber, and I just don't get that. Like, I'm just a person on here. Like, don't, like, it's just weird, and it's awkward, and I don't know how to, like, approach that kind of conversation. Like, I'm not saying don't do it, because, like, hey, if you talk to me and we end up becoming friends, like, that's pretty great. But, like, most of the time I get messages from people that's like, I don't know how to deal with this. Like, who are you? I don't know you. You don't know me. Like, what are we doing?
I feel like, personally, just as a perspective as an outsider, for example, if I didn't know you that well and I just watched your streams here and there, I feel like it is easier to approach a VTuber, but now I could be wrong. I feel like because there's kind of more of that, like I can't exactly explain it. You know, like when you're socially awkward, when you try to talk to a person, you just get like really clammy and weird because you're socially awkward and you just don't know what to do, and you kind of like shut yourself out. Whereas if you talk online or talk to, like, you know, some, like, a person who's like, does it feel as much like as a person, I guess is the best way. I don't know how to play it. Please, long story short, I feel like it's easier to talk to a VTuber than it's talking to like a person like me, for example, because that block, like that like mental block of oh my god, I'm shy, I feel like is a lot less there. So maybe that's why people do that. Like, they, even though you are still a person, obviously, like I'm not saying you're not, but you know what I mean. Like, because of that, like I feel like. That's my reason, because I personally, so I've been watching your content for a while, right? And you feel so much more approachable just because of that. Like, I kid you not, like I'm over here trying to talk to like another content creator who's a real live human being, blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh my god, what do I do? And then over here like, Mimi, hi, what's up, girl? How you doing today? You know, it's just for some reason, it's just there's like a comfortability that's just, it's easier. It really shouldn't. It should be exactly the same. But for some, I don't know if you're aware of this, but I'm actually incredibly shy myself. I know it's hard to believe because I go on these huge rants all the time. When I'm comfortable, I go into huge rants. But on a normal daily basis,
you've never been shy with me once. Huh?
I know, because
like ever since the first time we talked, you've been very outgoing.
Because you're so approachable and you're so easy to talk to. Like if I feel comfortable around someone, I open up really fast. But if I don't feel comfortable with someone, I instantly clam up and I just go in a corner and I just disappear for the rest of eternity. I really need to push myself to talk to people that I don't feel comfortable around. Whereas with you, I don't have to do that. So here I am being, you know, normal orange. Even from the start, like I was like, oh, you know, Mimine, I feel so approachable. Just, I think that's why. So sorry, I went on a whole side tangent.
No, you're good.
But
you're good. And I definitely see a lot of what you're saying. And I've definitely seen, like, to me as well, like, I usually don't have a huge problem approaching people, but like VTubers just feel a lot more approachable to me. Like if I were to approach, like, I don't know, like a random VTuber like Zake, for example, and just like I want to collab with Zake, and it's like before we'd ever started talking, it was like I just started talking to him and like that was easy. But like meanwhile there's like Mr. Time Leap, for example, who I've talked to on several different occasions. We've done like content and together with Different Fight before, and I just can't talk to him.
She just came, so yes, this is, sorry, I didn't mean to stop you, but she just
No,
I just see the door open. I'm like,
Hello.
what is in here? And it's just fluffy.
Hi, cat.
Yes.
Hello, cat. Meow.
Are you enjoying this content? Whoa, do I have the offer for you. For a total of $3.99, you can hit the subscription button to help directly support this channel and everything that I do on here. So go ahead and click that button. There's 58.1% of you guys that are not subscribed. So if you're enjoying my content, enjoying what I do, feel free to hit that button down below and join in on the fun. Back to good old Mimine and me talking about other amazing topics. Let's go.
I don't want to bother people.
I'll bother a VTuber, but I won't bother a person.
No, literally. I will bother VTubers all day long. Like,
so do you have a different personality like that you use between like your VTuber self versus like your actual self?
a lot less than other people. I know people who are like full into like I have a completely different character when I'm streaming or making content as a VTuber, especially. Like people especially love doing that with VTubers because it's like you literally like are embodying a different body. So it's like this is a perfect time to like make a different character. I don't really do that personally because I kind of just I enjoy just being myself and just like throwing myself out into the world. And just like acting as myself is kind of the best way I've found to make content. I don't know. If I'm trying to be someone else, I get all awkward and shy, and I'm just like,
just like,
and it's just like, yeah, and it's just like not very entertaining. I don't feel. But then like some of my most successful like streams and pieces of content have just been the times where I've just given up and I've just said whatever I think, and I've just been like, yeah, I'm just gonna like act as me. I don't care anymore. I'm not gonna like put effort into this. And it's like people just seem to like that, so it works for me. So I'm just kind of like as I am in real life. Obviously, the one big difference is like in real life, I'm a bit like more awkward with initially approaching people. Like if you show up in my chat, there's like an expectation of like, all right, you're here to like watch me like streamer person. And so like I don't have to like appeal to you. You're not going to be like my boss at any point in time. You're not going to be like, I'm not like trying to make you like, I'm not like trying to be friends with you. That we're not going to have this whole awkward like thing. If I like something embarrassing, if I do something embarrassing, you can just leave and I'll never see you again.
So it's like it's like almost like a faster pace, almost like you're kind of like skipping a step essentially. You're just like instantly yourself instead of having to like work up to it essentially.
Yeah, basically.
I'm glad you're yourself. I personally appreciate you being you. I don't know about you, but I'm really big into like being yourself and appreciating who you are. And I know acting and stuff like that is also cool, and that's part of the reason why there's so many VTubers out there that like have so much like of whatever, you know, the fame and glory or whatever, just because they're impersonating like a certain expression or certain characteristic that people just like and all that stuff. But personally, I actually like the person for who they are, and if they start being something they're not, that's actually when I start pushing away and I actually have less interest in them. And as strange as it sounds, I'm just one of those people where the more you're yourself, the more I appreciate you.
I mean, I think it's different for everybody. Like, I would say, like, for me and for you, it's like, yeah, being yourself, and, like, you want to see other people be yourself, and you want to be yourself. And then I think there's some people who, like, get more fun out of, like, being a different character, and, like, they enjoy doing that, and like they find more value in that. So that's also valid. But like even for those people, I hope they recognize that like just the value in like themselves as who they are. God, I sure hope at the end of the day, Calliope Mori can just look in the mirror and like herself as she actually is, as well as like the character she plays when she's making content. If you can do both, cool. But if you're just like playing a character because you don't like yourself and you're trying to get away from that reality, then that I think starts to cause a little bit of an issue. And also I think that's generally doesn't end up being very good content. It's just not a good road to go down.
Just accepting yourself is one of the hardest things to do, just in life. It's just really hard to look yourself in the mirror and go, yep, that's me, and I like me for me. And it's so hard because, like, especially now with social media and everything, it's so easy to compare yourself to pretty much everything out there and see all the successes and then compare yourself to that and go, oh, I'm not as great as XYZ and I need to be better, so I can't be myself, I have to be someone else. And I'm definitely with you. It's like a whole path, and it takes time, and honestly it takes some meditating, like self-meditation. I was trying to think, like self-meditation and like telling yourself, like it takes a long time. As someone who used to be
self-reflection,
it's a whole process. I used to be really like depressed, like a lot. It took me years to even start getting out of that, and that I still only shaved like a portion of, like, you know, everything that I have a lot of mental issues. Like a lot of people don't know this. This is why I can't talk to you. I just tell you everything.
You're fine.
I have a lot of mental problems, and actually a lot of it is even shown throughout Cardfight Vanguard. Like when I first entered Premium, I literally lost my shit after I was done with my matches, because I lost every one of them, and I couldn't pick up Premium for like 3 months because I was just mentally breaking down every time I looked at my Grand Blue deck. Part of it is just because I hated myself for not being good enough at the game to be successful, to even win like one game essentially. And that started like really sinking deep into like my old past of like not being good enough for people, and then me not feeling good enough for the game, and, you know, it kind of just like spiraled that way. So very good. But anyway, sorry, going to like weird topics here.
I'm just very sorry that you had to go through that.
It's okay.
I know a lot of people have to deal with mental health and mental health struggles, and it's a lot to deal with, and I think you've done a great job, and I'm very proud of you for getting this far.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I like you're valid, you're wonderful, and while I am sorry that you had to go through that, I'm glad you're here as you are now, and I think you're doing great.
Thank you. It happens. I'm not like I don't know how to explain it. I just kind of went through like a process with myself, and I'm a lot better about it now. If this was like 10 years ago, oh my god, this would have lasted like 3 years. Like, when I was like 15 or 16, any little thing that would happen, I would just like it would dwell on me for years. Like I would just spend years going back to that one time that this one thing happened, and I just wouldn't drop it. It's just how I was. So nowadays it's like, oh, this thing happened, I'm sad, I'll deal with it. I'll deal with my mental issues about it, and then I'll get over it, because I don't know, I'm too old now to like dwell on things. It sounds so stupid, but do I really want to spend like 3 years dwelling over one thing, or do I want to just like move on and figure it out? Moving on and figuring out just seems so much easier nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, getting to the point where you can say like, I want to just move on is very hard. But once you can do that consistently, then you realize, like, yeah, this is, like, very doable and very easy. I've dealt with a lot of mental health stuff myself, so I completely get where you're coming from. And it's a struggle, and it's an ongoing struggle for a lot of people. And I don't think it ever really ends, per se. Like, I think, like, everyone is struggling with something mentally, like, for their entire life. But you get better. You get better about dealing with it.
Yep. Sorry, we went on another rant. What's new?
That's okay. This is totally normal. This is true. We don't go on a completely third direction. Then
we're not making a fifth direction. Something's not right here.
Correct. One thing I miss with being a VTuber is having hands.
Just having hands.
I want hands again. Yeah, I can't move my hands at all because I want to make. Because here's the thing. I talk with my hands a lot. I like enunciate every single word. Like I'm flinging my hands all over the place constantly when I'm talking, and that just does not come across since I can't move them at all. I'm working on getting, there's this little device called a Elite Motion controller It's like $80, and I'm working on getting one. I could probably afford one pretty soon after I finish with this move.
After you stop buying cars, what?
Shut up. You're right, but shut up. But yeah, and that will let me move my hands, and I'm like, I need it. I need hands again. They're just sitting here like limp and useless.
I never even thought about that. And now that I think about it, now I'm thinking about it. Now I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. You aren't moving your hands. But I've never thought about it until now.
I'm not allowed.
You're there. I'll
the
join
rules
you.
of the universe have rules of the universe have stripped me of my hands.
I will be one with you. I will no longer use my. I can't. That sounds so awkward. I can't just not use my hands. How do I exist like this? I can't be a VTuber if I can't move my hands.
It's so strange, and it's like there's so much of like you have to like schmoove when you're VTubing. Like you can't sit still, because like if I want to enunciate something and I want there to be like motion behind what I'm saying, I'm like physically moving my body. Like if I'm nodding, I have to like move my entire body up and down. Also, it makes my boobies bounce, so that's cool.
Nothing against like, that can keep happening.
I'm glad we can get the official orange seal of approval.
Sorry.
But yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
We mentioned TCGs way in the very beginning of this, so it's a whole VTuber topic. But now, so just to bring off like another interesting topic, do you play like so TCGs, the trading card game? For those guys don't know, do you play any trading card games or like anything that you enjoy?
I play too many card games. I play too many trading card games. Here's the thing. Before we started this interview, I was literally playing Master Duel. Like that's what I've been doing like all day.
I've been seeing it. Visionary Mimine is playing Master Duel, and then I see it again like an hour later.
I literally within the first 3 days of Master Duel's release, I had over 50 hours in the game.
So how do you feel about Master Duel?
I love Master Duel. It's so good. It's so bad because it's Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's so good. Like if we had Master Duel but for Vanguard, I would not play anything else.
Oh my God.
I would get rid of all my other games.
I think I would quit my job.
Right? Like I would like full-time content creation for the like Vanguard Master Duel game, because it's just like the presentation is so nice. It's so good. It's so fluid. Everything feels good. It feels good to play. It feels good to watch. Even just watching my opponent like combo off, and I know like I'm screwed. I'm gonna die here because like they're going full combo, and I have no way to interrupt them. It's like this is cool. Mm-hmm. Like watching these animations is cool.
You can like see everything.
It's really fun.
You can see like the links and the way alt reacts and everything. It's just so
so good.
User friendly.
But like outside of that, in terms of card games, I have too many decks. I get made fun of a lot for having too many decks. I have Mr. Charles D. Dweeb himself was talking to me the other day. We were talking about how I'm like trying to save up money for moving. He said like, well, maybe if you didn't have so many decks, then maybe you would have enough money. And I was like, I don't have that many. And I started counting, and for Vanguard alone, I have about 30 decks in paper. And for Yu-Gi-Oh, I have like 3 more. And for Magic, I have another like 6. I have 2 Wheatcross decks. I have 2 Weiss Schwartz decks. I have a Force of Will deck.
What a beautiful card game.
Oh, I have a Gate Ruler deck. Gate Ruler's super fun.
That looks so fun. I have yet to try it.
So fun. It's crazy. We should play sometime. It's so much fun.
I'm so tempted, but I can't. You see, like, I want to be you. I want to grow up and be like Visionary Mimine. Like, I want to have this many decks for all these different things. But the thing is, I just don't have time for all of it.
I can't stop myself. No, you think I play with these decks? I don't have time for that.
They just exist.
Here's the thing. Out of all the decks that I own, more than half of them I have played once and never again. Like, I don't have time, but I don't want to like not own them because I see something fun and I'm like, I gotta have it. I gotta have this. Like, oh, there's like bunnies in Vanguard V Premium. I've never played that deck. It's not good in the current meta, but I saw it and I'm like, oh, I have to own it. I have to. It's pretty. It's pretty. It looks
pretty.
so fun.
The guy's
so
hot
good.
too.
Guy is very hot.
The guy's so hot.
Very hot.
I own the deck too, but I'm also a Pale Moon player, so it's not
True.
weird for me to own that deck. But I don't know if you're not a Pale Moon main, right? I know you're Grim Blue, but like secondary main.
I play so total in terms of like what I would consider I like mostly main is Genesis, Grand Blue, and Pale Moon. Those are the three clans. Those are the three clans that I consistently focus on. I sometimes dip into other clans. The potential fourth is Tachikaze, because I've gotten really into Tachikaze recently, and my Tachikaze premium deck that Dweeb helped me make is like one of my favorite decks I've ever played. So that might become a clan that I play like a lot of in the future. Genesis was the first clan I ever played, because I bought the Regalia trial deck back when that came out, and that was the first Vanguard product I ever owned. And so I love Genesis, I love Regalias, and it's like, that's great.
That was like years
and then
ago, right?
Yeah, that was about 7 years ago or something like 7, 8 years ago.
gosh.
Yeah, I've been playing this game for a long time. I'm a granny.
Hi, Granny.
Yeah. Hi. Hello. Hello, children. Today I'm gonna tell you about how I bought the Hari trial deck after that because I thought Hari was really hot. It was two things. It was Hari was really hot and and Luna are really gay. And those are my two reasons. Those are my two reasons for getting into Pale Moon season.
Perfectly fine. That is the best way to get into clans. I don't know. I don't know what else is there out there. Straight? Psh, no. Who needs? Though I don't even think. Honestly, this is like probably a hot take because I don't.
Straight characters in Vanguard.
I was exactly about to say that. I was like, I don't know much about anime, but there's very few characters that I look at and I go, that is a straight person outside of Shadow Paladin and probably Asuka. Like
Ren is not straight. Ren is okay.
Ren
Asuka,
feels pretty gay too.
Asuka might be straight. Ren's entire story is how hard he's crushing on Kai, and how much he just wants to date Kai. I've just been like addicted to it since, and I have never let this game go. There's been so many ups and downs over the years, but I still have not managed to like. Every time a new set comes out, it's like, all right, what are we buying, boys? What are we wailing on today?
That is, I concur. I've never, personally, I've never really been a TCG person, like, ever. I've always been like, I like board games, I like video games. That's always been kind of my thing. I tried to get into, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic, mainly Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic, and I've always been like, I guess it's fun. I don't know, it just never really clicked until Cardfight Vanguard. That was, like, the first one where I was like, this is fun! I need this! For the art and just everything about it just makes sense. Yeah. It's just super fun.
The art for Vanguard just hits just right.
Overdress. The art is
yes.
I have never max rarity'd a deck in my life until Overdress hit. Like, Zorga is not in the best position right now, and I have it in max rarity. Like, I don't care. It just looks so beautiful.
Hot.
And he's so hot. And he's so hot, yes. I don't care how skeleton his feet are. I have a feet phobia. I don't like feet. But it doesn't matter. He is still amazing. And no matter what position you put this man in, he looks like an 11 out of 10 every freaking time.
Absolutely. Oh my god, yes. Because I had friends when I was in kindergarten that like just had Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and like we didn't know how to play with them, and so they would just have them, and we would just have them and trade them and like talk about them, and I would like beg my mom to buy me some, and she did, and I still had no idea how to play the actual game until like just like one day, like one of my friend's older brother visited and was like, all right, idiots, like stop doing that. Here's how you actually play this game. And that's literally how I got into my first TCG, because I have been sucked into this community since forever. TCGs have had their hold on me my entire life, and I can never leave.
You reminded me of a wholesome story that I now feel the need to share.
Aww.
So I mentioned earlier like how I don't really play TCGs, and how I've tried Yu-Gi-Oh! In the past. So around the same age as you, I was also a kindergartner, but I didn't know English. very well.
Okay.
My granny and so I'm from New York. Like my granny and I used to walk around a lot, just walk around. I've always lived with my grandma and stuff like that, and she's actually the person that got me into Yu-Gi-Oh for a very small percentage. So my granny and I were walking, and she likes getting her lottery tickets. So she just loves lottery tickets, and I could be wrong, but if I remember correctly, there was this place where you could buy lottery tickets that also sold Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And they had this, like, they had the very first, this is like the Yu-Gi-Oh and Kaiba trial decks, like the very original ones, like the beginning of Yu-Gi-Oh, like when it first got announced.
God, yes.
And
yes.
it was there in the window and stuff like that. And she like pointed at it. She was like, she said my name, and she was like, "Do you want to try this?" And I'm just looking at her like a little 5-year-old, no idea what it is. I was like, okay.
Okay.
She had just enough money, because we lived in a very poor situation back then. She had just enough money to buy me one little trial deck, and it was so cute. I actually still have the cards. Yeah, I still have the cards. Yeah.
That's so precious.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sadly, I didn't get into the game.
Shoutouts to Granny Orange.
Granny Orange is best orange. She is the reason that I am who I am today. Everything that she has taught me, or everything that I've always lived with her. She's been like the main person I've been around my whole life. So everything that I am today is because of Granny Orange.
Oh, that's
she's adorable.
Amazing. Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah. So sorry, you reminded me of that. I actually completely forgot that whole interaction happened. Story. I was like, oh yeah, you mentioned kindergarten. I was like, that's right. I was 5 and I had a Yu-Gi-Oh deck as well. I just think it's awesome hearing that, like hearing that the passion. I think passion is like a beautiful thing. Just being like, yeah, I found what I like and I like it, and like just hearing it stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I think VTubing really fits you. Plus, you get to be anime, but you are anime, so you are waifu.
I am anime.
You are.
I feel like, here's the thing. I feel like I'm anime waifu on the inside as much as I am on the outside, so it works.
It does work. That's super cute. I approve.
Like, my personality is just very anime.
You are extremely vibrant, I guess that's probably the best way to put it. I don't know. You are an orange.
I am an orange. Nice. We got it, gamers. We got it. I'm an orange.
We made a joke.
Put a little, like, a pin on me that says, like, certified orange.
That's perfect. You could have yours be Visionary Mimine, also known as Orange, and I'll have mine be like OuterOrange, also known as Visionary Mimine VTuber. It's perfect.
Excellent. Excellent. We're interchangeable. Aw. Aw, you're my better half. Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet.
It's just a normal day with good old Mimine. Just another day in the life. This is how it's done. You have exactly 20 seconds to talk about yourself or anything that you want to plug in. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/visionary Mimine. I'm trying to get back to it. Again, I'm on a bit of a hiatus now, but we are doing more, and it's super fun. We just do whatever you feel like. And also on Hokago Card Time on YouTube. I make Vanguard content with my friends Melly and Toyo. They're lovely. Yeah, go check that out. We're just all very evil control players. Yeah, that's it. We hate people. Thanks.
I wasn't expecting you to go on a whole like string of conversation. Like you're like, and then I went to the store and this happened. Blah, blah, blah. You just went
and then I and then I got the milk, and then I forgot the eggs at home, and so I had to go back to the store, and I got some chocolate while I was there because I was just like, I saw it and I had to get it.
I guess this is what happens when I amp it up like that.
You gave me 20 seconds, and I'm like, I have to speech.
But don't forget to check out Visionary Mimine. I personally follow her quite a lot. Thank you for.
It's mostly just this freaking move that I keep bringing up.
Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
So much work.
Mimi, I've been hearing about this move for like 5 months.
I know. It's a night. Here's the thing. I've moved 3 times in those 5 months.
Wait. I think you brought this up. I think I remember having this conversation with you.
Yeah,
vaguely. You keep moving.
I keep moving.
Why
I hate it.
Moving?
I hate it. I want to stop.
Wait,
Next month, I stop moving.
Is there like a job thing or like?
It's I mean, it's a lot of things. Problem I had, so there's a problem with some of my old roommates, and I had to move like twice because of that.
Oh.
And then I had some family issues, and then I had to move to help with the family issues. But then the family issues got sorted, so I had to move again because those were done with. And now I'm moving again because I'm going out to live with Melly, and it's just like, so much.
Go check her out on all the social medias. I'll have them also all below in the description. I almost said subscription. In the description below, I'll have all the stuff so you can check her out if you enjoyed what you saw today. And don't forget to subscribe to your girl OuterOrange if you enjoyed the content or anything that you saw here today, because I'm just gonna keep doing this. If you like it, I'm gonna keep doing it. So I'm gonna peace out, say my das vidanya, and do you have anything, any goodbyes?
Johnny.
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 Bye.
Bye.